Good afternoon. I am John Harder, here to do another episode, another live hangout for free energy and spreading the wealth of TBC. My title for this hangout is Seeing the Big Picture in Your Mind is Key to Creating It. Isn't that what it says? Let me just see. Okay. Yes, seeing the big picture in your mind is key to creating it. TBC is a very big picture. The success of TBC, the economy that we are creating, is a very big picture. It's a very big success story unfolding. The success story of TBC at this point is what we make it. Now, so far as we are in this story at this point, it's a great story. It is a successful story. It's a wonderful picture, the way I see it anyways, because it was launched in 2016. If we would give any comparison to any other cryptocurrency, of course we don't compare, but let's just for the sake of our story or of our picture, let's just compare it anyway, and look at TBC. Sorry, Bitcoin. We can look at which one would be the next. I think in age, the next one is Ethereum, and then of course there's Litecoin and Dash and many others that have come along. Now, this is probably where the picture would begin to look a little blurry depending on who is looking at it. But from my point of view, I would say that the one that would come the closest at this point is likely Dash, and it is so far back in the dust that we can't even see where it is hardly. Dash has been the biggest in promoting their coin, and they have achieved much. That's very true. Dash now, they actually are focusing on making it user friendly, making it how should I say, most peer-to-peer from any of the cryptocurrencies that are out there. I believe almost all of them have to be used in exchanges, and even Dash at this point. There are some places where Dash can be used, I believe, by now, but most of the coins, the only place you can really do anything with them is in the exchanges, and that's of course where the prices are being manipulated. Now, I think we can clearly see, all of us, how that when you like, let's say you buy Bitcoin, just for an example, you would naturally look for it to buy some, for it to go up so that you could sell it at a higher price. That is really about the only thing Bitcoin is good for. It isn't really good for much else. You can't really have it in the marketplace as a peer-to-peer for trade, because very simple. If I do a service and I go ahead and I install Windows maybe, so I do all your windows in your house, and I have paid for the windows, right? And I need to make money with my business, and you pay me with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin drops 50% by tomorrow. How am I gonna buy windows for the next house so I can still do business? Now that's the one direction, obviously. Now if I installed Windows and you had paid me in Bitcoin, and tomorrow my Bitcoin would be worth twice as much, I'd probably sell it, because to me, I would think that I'd probably had if I've had doubled my money in a day, I'd probably just sell it right away in order to secure that success. Now it's funny I should say that, because when Dash was, I think I bought some that was when it was around $2, and then again some more when it was at $5, around $5. And I held on to it for a few months, and it had really, really, really increased. I don't remember the exact amount of increase that I had, but it was from $500, and it was up to 30. I believe it was 30 some thousand. I forget the sum now. I wish I knew better, but I don't. So 30 some, I said 30 some dollars, I meant 30 some thousand. And if my memory serves me correctly, it was $36,000 that I had made from 500 in just a few months. But then it tapered off and started going down. And it went down and down and down and down and down and down until I had about $3,000 left. And so I got nervous. I got nervous and I sold it. And of course, that's where I spent almost half of that to buy TBC. So had I held on to that Dash, I'd now have somewhere around 120,000, somewhere it's about that. Whereas now it's hundreds of millions. So the wealth, me getting scared and selling it and finding something else, in that case, was a good plan. It worked out really well for me. Now, but after I sold it, I didn't really buy TBC right away, because I think there was about a month and a half that I was looking and looking and looking and looking for a coin where I could invest some of that money, because I wanted something more stable. And I did buy some what is it, BitShares? yeah, I bought some bit shares. I bought some uh, block stack. Um, I think there was another couple of other ones that I also bought some of, and you know, some of them I have actually lost. The bit shares, it's a system that that all of a sudden my password stopped working on that account, and there is no seems like there's no way of you know, of getting it to work. So I've kind of lost whatever I had left in there, which wasn't much, but but these other few, they of course they have gone up some since I bought. But aside from all of that, even if those had doubled or tripled or quadrupled or ten-tupled, if that makes any sense, uh, TBC is still so far ahead, bar none, that that the others are all completely insignificant. Even if I would have spent the same amount of money, which actually it was about the same, because I spent about half of it in TBC, and the other I bought a few other ones. Now, when I came across TBC, and of course I didn't know about the cookie rewards, or I knew nothing about that, or if there had been cookie rewards before, I don't know. But I promoted it. I had I'm not sure, I believe 200 referrals or something, and and then Christmas or November or whatever it was, I think it was November, when they announced that in December, in December we would have cookie rewards. And you know, when I saw the significance of that, wow, it was just something else. I'll say that. I got very excited at times, you know, looking at the amount of money, and that, of course, you know, I mean, uh, the only thing I had ever really known before is not really just failure, but certainly not any significant successes, you know. So this got, you know, this was very exciting to me. Now, but what I wanna remind us of is that when I had that success with Dash, it gave me a bit of a glimpse of can be what you can do with cryptocurrencies. It was the biggest success I ever had with anything that I had done online. It really was. I mean, yeah, over the years I had been internet marketing for a long time, and yeah, I made money here and there, but never really that I could just, you know, watch it just go and make, you know, really just make a lot of money that way. And of course with Dash, and it came back down, and so which led me to looking for something else, and maybe that was a good thing, you know, because that is when I started looking for something else, and I ended up coming across TBC. So see, for me, it wasn't like TBC was introduced to me. It was kind of like Paul Fisher. He came across it, you know, by looking for something or whatever. So, but I have since then gotten, you know, more of a grasp of what we are really going for with TBC. You know, it's funny how time seems to play a factor into it when you see you see how big it is. You see the magnitude of what TBC was to do. And of course, then reading all the information on the blog post, I became so aware of the world that we live in. And of course, that has led me to other studies that I'm also doing, because now I'm in a course I'm learning how to completely disconnect from the system. Okay, so that I won't be attached in any way by taxes or anything that the system does. License plates, insurance, none of that will have any. I won't be attached to any of that. Okay, so that is the type of information that I'm learning now. But and I was talking to somebody about this. I don't know, about a week ago or so, and he says, well, isn't that going to happen anyway? Like, isn't the world going to change like that anyway? And my answer to that is never. Never ever will governments let go and say, look, you are free, you can do whatever you want. That will never happen, guys. There's always somebody else who has way too big of an ego to to want to be in control. And the thing is, what I'm talking about here is to completely detach, that we can completely detach ourselves from the system. And it is by their law, it is by the legal system that we're doing it. Okay? So it's not like we're creating something that that will, that eventually we just get pulled back in. See, that's what happened with Bitcoin and the altcoins and all that. See, when Bitcoin first came out, it was created with the intent that that you would be able to do peer-to-peer without involving any central authority. Okay. Well, that isn't that's already by far not that at all. I mean, you look at all the, you have in the exchanges. Now, at first, the exchanges, I think it was quite a bit easier. At least I don't remember having to confirm, my identity and all that. But now you have to upload pictures, driver's license, passport, all this kind of stuff, because you're in an exchange. You want to do crypto exchange. Where does that come from? Only one place. It's this know your customer, what the elite are pushing. And why is it know your customer? Because we want to control your customer. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's about. And that is where TBC shines. It's not attached. It's not attached to any system. But here's what's going to happen in commerce. As for people who do not detach themselves from the legal system, it will become illegal for them somehow, if it remains detached, because if you don't detach yourself from the legal system, then they will not allow you to operate like that. At least that is the way, as far as what I have learned about the legal system, that is how that's going to be. So I believe that people are very much going to wake up to this, to what Pantera de Oro is all about, because that is where you can learn the entire the entire way of, you know, the whole course, Gemstone University, as to how to get detached from the system that we're in. And it is growing fast. There's people all over the world already, in 30 countries at least, that are already you know, working with the system and working with detaching themselves. There's people in Canada, in the US, and I know there's in Australia, in Italy, in South Africa. Anyway, that's just to name a few that I know about. Okay, anyhow, we are talking about TBC, and we're talking about the big picture. The big picture of TBC is a very big picture. But we need to understand that as long as we are being controlled by the system, as long as we are in the matrix, we cannot attach, or we will not be able to just use a monetary system and be free from it. That will never work. That will never work. We can already see that with the exchanges now, with the altcoins and all that that's out there. Now, in saying that, what am I saying? Am I saying that TBC is not good? It is splendid. I believe it's the best thing that the monetary system we've ever seen. It's the best monetary system we've ever seen. But I think we need to look. We need to know what else we need to do in order to actually effectively use it in the world. Now we don't see any effect yet, which is great. But you know, unless we are like unless countries do what the Philippines did, now there is a success. See, in the Philippines, seeing they have made that bond. If we can get countries to do that where we are, if we can get it, the legal system to integrate it or whatever, and of course we know what'll happen. It'll be integrated into the tax system then, which, you know, I guess there's variations of people what they believe, whether taxes are a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. I can very easily give you my personal opinion, and I believe that all taxes are extortion. Anytime two people make a trade, and there's a third party authority of any kind that has to have a piece of that action, that's extortion. And I don't believe that should ever be. We should never allow that. But anyhow, that is the system that we live in. But that is because the monetary system isn't controlled by the people. Now TBC gives the control to the people. Now the question is, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do with it? Are we going to go and we're going to hand it back over to those who are ruling us now, who are you know, enforcing all the laws and all that? Is that what we're going to do? Just hand it back over to them? Here, now control us again. Or are we going to take the steps that it takes to free ourselves from the system completely? See, that is the way I would go about that. I am. And now I see a huge connection there between TBC and also freeing yourself from the system. See, what's happening is when you do that, you are creating you're creating now what's it called? Not society. I don't like to call it society, or is it a society? Yeah, let's call it society. That's fine. But that's global. A global society, a movement. that literally gives the power back to the people. It has its own court system, and there are no taxes. Okay, it's got its own court system, its own training, and its own media, news media. Everything is all in there, and it's all in such a way that is a mutual benefit for all. There is no hierarchy in the system. Nobody is there to call the shots and rule and this and that. The court, the entire system has been set up and written in a way that any office holder, any people who hold offices, nobody can run off and be and start enforcing things, because it's a mutual benefit system, mutual benefit for all. And this is what makes it so powerful, and so why so many people are so interested in it, because it takes out that central authority and gives you freedom. It gives everybody freedom. The only law that it really has is do unto others as you want them to do to you. That's really basically the only law there is. You want to be treated nice, treat others nice. I think that's just a great system. As soon as there's some hierarchy calling the shots, well, they want to be taxed. They want, I don't mean they want to be taxed. They want to, they charge taxes, and then, oh yeah, we'll provide you with all this good stuff. We'll give you everything free and this and that. And the next thing you know, you're paying more taxes, and you're wondering, where's all this money going? Next thing you find out, oh, we thought we had a government. We don't even have a government. Wow, I wonder what happened. We were in the dark, we thought all was good. All of a sudden we realized it's all just smoke and mirrors. And that's what happens when you hand power over to some, to a few people. Now, when you look at that picture, what do you see? Like, is it the government's responsibility to handle the monetary system? Like, is it? I mean, look at how easily all of the governments in just about every government in the entire world, how easily they were manipulated. But now, if there is no central authority and the people have the money belongs to the people, to everybody, that kind of changes the picture, doesn't it? It kind of changes the picture. Because all of a sudden you don't have one person, somebody that makes up all kinds of meticulous laws about everything, and you can't hardly start any business or anything because everything is illegal. And of course we know where that comes from. If you don't understand that, why everything is illegal, let me tell you why that is. Because between the king, this is history. This is from thousands of years ago, how things have been set up. Okay, because the law was controlled by the priest. Okay, and the land was controlled by the king. So there was the line of the king and the line of the priest. This is how it's been set up for years. One would control the land and one the law. And then it became the Roman Catholic Church that was the priest, that was the line of the priest, which actually ends up being the Pope. Okay? So now the Pope has declared that he owns all flesh, all souls, and minds. He owns all of it. Every one of us completely, body, soul, and spirit. So what they've done is they created a containment field. And that's where civilization is put into. Anytime you hear the word civil, the word civil means the containment field where everybody's been put into, lifted off the land, that you can never own land. You can pay mortgages on land and you can pay taxes on land, but you can never actually own it. You understand what I'm saying? You can never actually own anything. Not even your own body is owned by you. When you go to church, in the churches, there they teach you to give up your will to God. Who is God? The Father in heaven, in the Vatican City. That's where this heavenly Father is. It's all controlled by the Pope and the legal system that has been set up through the Roman Catholic Church, controlling all of the eventually now the Vatican City, and then in England there is this small part of England that is actually the real England, if you will, or London. Sorry, London is where the Lord Mayor of London lives. The Lord Mayor of London. All land on the globe is registered as, like every country is registered as a corporation under the Lord Mayor of London. This may be further, we may be further under control sometimes than what we think we are. Nonetheless, TBC is giving us tremendous, tremendous power to get out from all of those snares. But it is my encouragement to you that if you haven't checked out the Pantera de Oro, do find out, learn about what they do and see a little bit what's going on, okay? Because that is where we can free ourselves from the system completely, that which has been put together for thousands of years, and we can actually become free. All right. And now that along with TBC, that is tremendous freedom. That's just freedom to the utmost, I would say, that man has ever had since thousands and thousands of years ago. Okay, because if people control the money, if people control the monetary system, that already removes very much power from the clutches of the law, of the legal system, which has a hierarchy. But if we create our own economy and our own society, so that we can free ourselves from that civil body and actually stand on the land and own the land, you see, then you own the land. Everything that is in your name that you have, you actually own it. Whereas now in the civil body, you don't own anything. You pay taxes, you pay license, you pay insurances, you pay all these things, but you don't own anything. That's why they can come in anytime they want and confiscate everything they want, whatever they want, right? Okay, so I don't even know if my time is getting near or what the deal is here. Oh, okay. Okay, so anyways, I you know, for those of you who, for those who watch this video on YouTube or whatever, and you are new to TBC, I very much invite you to check out the links below and educate yourself as to what TBC really is all about. And also not just uh, no, yeah, and why was TBC created, right? Do yourself a favor, just educate yourself and to find out what kind of a world you're really living in, and also to see the power that you can gain by getting the free gift of Kringles that TBC gives you. And any help, if you need any help with anything, I'm willing and ready to help you to get you established with some TBC. I will even help you to try to, help you to gain courage if you want to do these broadcasts. If you are, if you're shy or anything like that, I can give you some great advice where you that can help you gain that courage so that you can do these broadcasts, because they really pay. I'll be right honest with you. It pays me around $80,000 just to do a half-hour broadcast. Around 80,000 US dollars. I'd say that's paid pretty darn well. We are really paid for this. Okay, so now again, if you are also watching this and you have been in TBC, you need help with anything. Maybe you're upline, you don't know where they are or whatever. I am here to. I'm just inviting you that and letting you know that I am happy to help you, whatever you need with TBC or the free energy. Also, I didn't mention much of that today. I somehow got into looking at the big picture. And what I really want to try to accomplish in my life as much as I possibly can is to help people become aware of the world that we are really living in, and that we can attain complete freedom from it. Okay. So with all that said, I am going to sign off. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm going to quickly go through here just and see what all we have here in the Hangout. All right, Romeo, thank you very much for joining me. Jules Ann, thank you for joining me again too. Marjorie, my wife, thank you very much. And we also have Stephen Coffey, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Again, Romeo, yeah, Jules Ann, Lucy, thank you. Lucy Brown, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Sorry? Yeah, they did quite a bit, eh? Quite a bit of conversation. That's good. That's good. Good things. Good, thank you. All right. No way. TNC will help detach from the system as we move along. Lucy says, no way. TBC will help attach from the system as we move along. It will be a huge help, but if you think that will detach you completely, you don't understand the system. All right, thank you very much, everybody. I don't know if I got all of them. Let's see. Let's see, Pedro, thank you. I guess I was on his when he wasn't there. I don't know. Maybe his internet wasn't working at the time. Okay. All right. Thank you very much again, everybody, for hanging out with me. I appreciate it very much. And so have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, or whatever it is for you that's in front of you. And peace.
And Jill saying, awesome as always, John.